Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amer Cote. I am, my pronouns are she, her. I'm the Senior Director of Community Relations at Rocky Mountain Public Media. I've had the great privilege of working with Martin this year. I'm going to say as quickly as I can all the things I want to share with you in about 2.5 minutes. So, in partnership with Colorado Press Association, Colorado Media Project, and Colorado State University Center for Public Deliberation, Rocky Mountain Public Media has launched Above the Noise, a statewide initiative to create stronger Colorado media networks amidst a threatening landscape of lack of funding, resources, and capacity for local news outlets across the state. Colorado sources of local news, including newspapers, radio, TV, online magazines, and non-traditional community news sources, equals about 594, and that's actually changed quite a bit since we actually put this together, but 594 outlets, and we're working with about 40 of them in this project. Our goal is to foster a resilient and sustainable journalism ecosystem that adapts to and evolves with change, ensures equity in roles, and supports diverse and impactful storytelling. We're together with all of these newsrooms and partners across the state, creating a stronger Colorado media ecosystem by building a long-term continuous listening model that drives relevancy in content delivery. So in my next minute, I'm going to tell you a little bit how we did that. When we invited newsrooms to participate, we got lots of folks to talk to. We had 40 say yes formally. Once they said yes, our team started meeting with them individually to find out what their needs were in ways that we can support with this team that I listed earlier in those newsrooms engaging deeper with their community. That's one thing that Rocky Mountain Public Media has, are some resources to help with community engagement. So when we met with those newsrooms, many of them said that their communities were looking for more opportunity for civil discourse. They wanted to talk to each other and find ways to reach across all party lines, all differences, and just have a means of communicating. So we decided this was a really fabulous tool and way for us to engage newsrooms with their community. So Martin's going to talk a little bit about the film, but I also wanted to mention a couple of the other ways we're supporting newsrooms across Colorado. One in particular, we were just in Lyman with the leader last week. We're trying to help them develop a volunteer community journalism program because they're trying to cover more area, and so they're inviting their community members to help them do that. We're also working with different communities and thinking about how they can have conversations about specific things that are happening in their communities and helping to facilitate building on some of the work that we're doing with Martin to keep talking and have those newsrooms be there listening. I'm going to hand it over to you.
Yeah, thank you. So as you said, my name is Martin Carcasson, Communication Studies faculty at Colorado State University and the founder and director of the Center for Public Deliberation there. I started that 18 years ago. The CP serves as an impartial resource to the Northern Colorado community and now the overall state with this project to help people have the conversations we need to have for democracy to work. Based on this idea that democracy requires some pretty tough conversations. And unfortunately, we're not wired for those. We're much more wired for polarization and outrage than for collaboration and deliberation. So my work for the last 20 years has been, how do we figure out, how do we talk to each other, particularly in local communities? About 3 years ago, I helped start the Deliberative Journalism Project with Jenny Fisher, who's here as well, with the journalism department and some local partners in Northern Colorado, looking to kind of infuse traditional journalism with deliberation kind of tools, but then also helping newsrooms be a convener, be a host, be a facilitator, and also help us deliberate about journalism, have some tough conversations in our community. So basically, I am your statewide resource for dialogue and deliberation world, public engagement, democratic innovation, social psychology, polarization, and how to have tough conversations. And we are the land grant, we want to be a resource. So it's been great to meet a lot of y'all over the last 3 years that I've been doing this work. But with Above the Noise, the first round that we've been doing, I'll mean it, where's that? Here, go ahead to the next one. We go through, we've been showing this Undivided film, and we've been showing it, we've done it about 10, 15 times already. We've got quite a few more in the bucket. If this sounds interesting, we can come to a town near you. This is a film focused on how we're so polarized and how we overcome that polarization. Right? I'm going to show you a couple quick things real quick. Go to the next one. One of the things that we ask people is, what are the words that come to mind when you think about the quality of public discourse? I've been asking this question for about 5 years. There's a lot of negative terms, a lot of positive terms. Every time I ask it, all the negative terms get picked before any of the positive terms. Actually, if you look on your tables, you have a little half sheet of paper. The QR code on the left is for Poll EV. You can answer this question right now. We won't have time to process it, but you'll actually see the answers, and you can come to our table if you want to see. But we engage that, clearly see polarizations, the number one issue. I end with lots of resources. We want to be a resource. We want this to be a catalyst for better conversations. There's so many resources out there to push back on this polarization and help people come together in much productive ways. So we want to be a resource to connect to those and make it as easy as possible for local newsrooms to engage their public much more productively.
We have a couple things to say about how we're going to keep moving forward with Above the Noise. It's really focused on our Ambassador 64 program. So right now we're having these conversations where newsrooms are engaging with their community around the film. After the election, we'll be working more from a perspective of reconciliation. We're recruiting volunteers from all 64 counties of the state that will work with their local newsrooms and having more community conversations that we help support in the future. Thank you.